Matchup here tonight between the Stacey out of San Antonio Eagles and the San Perlita Lady Trojans. We've already had the warm-ups. We've already had the meeting at the net, and we're going to have the playing of the national anthem. We'll be right back with the opening serve. A quick pregame, an early start for a Friday. Lady Trojans, Lady Eagles. This is Rio Sports Live.
Thanks for watching Rio Sports Live.
Rio Sports 5, number 1.
Hacienda Ford. Hacienda has it. Has what? Low monthly payments, a friendly buying process, and customer service like no other. It's simply a different way. It's a car buying experience you'll enjoy. With a huge Ford selection like Ford F-150s, Mustangs, Explorers, Escapes, the Ford Raptor, and a whole bunch more, buying a new Ford should be fun, and that's why we do it. Come see the difference at Hacienda Ford.
Hacienda has it.
Hi, we're Lady Vikings, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, and again, we're coming to you from Corpus Christi on a Friday night. Rudy Zamaripa Jr. on the camera. I'm Joe Bowling with you. We got here just in the nick of time to get set up, and we are set to go as a round 2 matchup between the San Perlita Lady Trojans and the San Antonio Stacey Lady Eagles. District 29 2A for Stacey, District 32 2A for the Lady Trojans of San Perlita. Early start, San Antonio Stacey will be serving the ball to start this. They're in the blue uniforms with the white trim. Lady Trojans in the red uniforms with the white trim, and we are set to go with the opening serve. Back of the service line is Jasleen Littleton, and we are set for the first serve of this game. Littleton puts it across on an angle, nearly gets an ace. Nice dig that time by the Lady Trojans. They'll get it over. Stacey, the Lady Eagles, setting it up on a high set, right side, spiked across and down and in. A kill for Cameron Thompson. The sophomore makes it a 1-0 game. Thompson with the early kill. We were watching in warm-ups. She can really bring it as she's stationed outside left to start this game on the front of the net. Lady Trojans will set it up this time. Tip it across. Played by San Antonio Stacey. They'll set it up in the middle this time. Tipped over. Played by Megan Kinney, and the Lady Trojans set up the offense. Kinney spikes it across. Nice dig that time. And a ball at the net. Point scored. Lady Trojans tied at 1 apiece. Joining us here on our broadcast, we invite you to share the link if you're watching on our social media sites, on Facebook especially. Be sure you let other fans know that these games are going on. Megan Kinney will serve it across. A line drive serve. Dug by Thompson, a high set off the net. Thompson will put it across. Free ball. San Perlita, that goes across the baton. And the Lady Trojans are on top 2-1 here in game 1. A best of 5, win by 2 to 25, games 1 through 4. If we get to game 5, as we did last night, then we'll win that by 2, going to 15 in a short race. Megan Kinney will serve it up. Played over by Stacey, back on the San Perlita side. They'll try to set it up this time. Off the net, Karime Rojas, her first hit of the night. Nice dig back there by Jasleen Littleton. Tipped across by Stacey. Nice dig by the Lady Trojans as Jasmine Rodriguez is there to cover the hit. Set it up again, and a tip by Thompson just off the net. Diving play by Kinney. Can't keep it alive, though. Point scored. We're tied at 2 apiece on a hit by Cameron Thompson. Substitution in the game. Lene Dolder will check into the ball game. On the front row for San Antonio Stacey. Meanwhile, back of the service line, that's Miranda Morales. Morales puts it across. Kinney brings it right back over on the Stacey side. Lady Eagles set it up on the middle. Thompson, a big kill this time, puts it down. Right over the middle, Cameron Thompson with an easy kill. 3-2 Stacey lead, and they'll serve again as Miranda Morales puts it into play. Another serve with some pace. That was headed out of bounds, played by the Lady Trojans. Free ball coming up for San Antonio Stacey. The pass is there. The set by Emily Hassett and a hit by Thompson coming across. Too strong. Out of bounds. We're tied at 3 apiece. 3-3 the score. The crowd was filing in as we were arriving here. The basketball practice went a little long here at Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. Lady Trojans will hit it across and score the point and take the lead. San Perlita on top here. 3-2, or check that 4-3 in game 1. Next serve coming across for the Lady Trojans. A line drive serve. That is a nest. Another ace served up by the Lady Trojans. Jasmine Rodriguez right now taking control from the service line. She'll put another one in play for the Lady Trojans of San Perlita. Gets it across, a deep serve, carries out of bounds off the back row. We saw in the game last night that we covered up in Kingsville with Jubilee out of Brownsville. Their early hitting was carrying everything long and out of bounds. It wasn't until game 3 they settled down. When they did, they produced. There's an ace served up by San Antonio Stacey's Ariana Flores, the junior server, ties us up at 5 apiece. Next serve coming up for Flores. She'll put it into play. Back row plays that for San Perlita. Lady Trojans on the attack. Megan Kinney from the back row. Covered that time by Miranda Morales. Thompson from the right side hits that on the angle, but can't cross the net. Point scored. Lady Trojans of San Perlita back on top 6-5. Aaliyah Garcia will check back to the line to serve. Meanwhile, entering the game, Modesta Garcia takes her spot on the front row. We've seen Garcia be dominating on the net. We've also seen games in which Karime Rojas has taken control for the Lady Trojans. That's an ace served up by another player we've seen take control in some games covered. That's Aaliyah Garcia. Because it's not just a one-hitter show for the Lady Trojans. Garcia, deeper serve. That's another ace served up by the Lady Trojans. They're up 8-5 early. San Antonio Stacey, the Lady Eagles, out of District 29 2A. Our head coach is Mike Flores. Meanwhile, Griselda Rublicata, the head coach for the Lady Trojans. Up 3, serving here in game 1. A short serve by Garcia. Pass forward, they'll set it on the back row. Littleton punches that over. Played by the Lady Trojans. They'll set up Rojas on the right side. Swings away. Good dig that time by Morales again. Second hit over. Megan Kinney there to cover it for San Perlita. Modesta Garcia hits it off the block. Point scored. Lady Trojans go up 9-5. Modesta Garcia off the challenge of the block by Cameron Thompson. Timeout called. San Antonio Stacey. 9-5. Lady Trojans lead. Game 1 continues after this. At San Benito Vision Source, the optometry staff works around your busy schedule and take the time to answer your questions and concerns prior to a visit. Dr. Jaime Rodriguez and Dr. Laura Loki offering full vision examinations, diagnostics, and treatment of an array of eye diseases and conditions to keep your eyes healthy. Call the friendly staff today with questions or schedule a consultation. San Benito Vision Source. Back here, another serve coming up for the Lady Trojans. San Perlita will put it into play. Ball played by San Antonio Stacey up near the net. They'll hit it over. Played by the Lady Trojans, already up 9-5 here. They'll set it up again for Rojas. Big swing and puts it down. Lady Trojans up 5. Karime Rojas. On our last game we covered, she was our Hacienda Ford. She has it, player of the game. That time she delivers with a big hit. Lady Trojans with the early lead, up 5. Serve across, a line drive, played across the net. Garcia puts it back over on the Stacey side. They'll try to set it up. This is Hassett, puts it across. That's Littleton, that is. Out of bounds it goes. Littleton from a back row attack. Hits that out of bounds. 6-point lead. You can see the Stacey hitters right now trying to settle down. There's a good hit across. That's in by Emily Hassett. Scores a point for the Lady Eagles. Rotating back now as Cameron Thompson, the sophomore, will serve. for San Antonio Stacey. Thompson, a right-handed server, puts it across with the line drive. That is played back over on the Stacey side. They'll keep it alive for a moment. Nothing doing. Point scored, Lady Trojans. That hit was carrying out of bounds, and again, you can see some uncharacteristic errors made in the early going on both sides, but that time that ball was clearly headed out of bounds. San Antonio Stacey will watch, and that's an ace served up by Karime Rojas. A thunderous serve across for the point. 13-6 game. Rojas back to serve again for San Perlita's Lady Trojans. Up by 7 here in the first game. Another line drive serve, and a back-to-back ace served up by Rojas. The senior serving away here in round 2. Her team up 8 in game 1. Next serve coming across by Karime Rojas. Another line drive. Played this time by Stacey. They'll keep the ball alive. Libero back there is Haley Barentine. Barentine puts it over on the San Perlita side, but a lift is called against the Lady Eagles. And another point for San Perlita. They're up 14-7. Substitutions reeling in off the bench. Here comes Symphony Nieves into the ball game. They do give the point to Stacey on a lift called against San Perlita. Nieves back at the service line, will serve. Knuckleballs it over, played right back over on the Stacey side at the net. Point, Lady Trojans. It became a set that time for Miranda Morales. Had a chance to put that one away. Given an opportunity, she'd like to get that one back. Serve across by the Lady Trojans. Down the line, played by the Lady Eagles of San Antonio Stacey. From the back row, that's in the net. Trojans now up 16-7. Fans watching, please share the link on our Facebook side. We're going up against football numbers tonight. Last night I did it on a Thursday, and we showed that the girls' sports can bring just as many numbers as the boys. I've said that all along anyway. But it always helps. Our YouTube subscribers continue to YouTube, subscribe to our site, if you will, and help pass the word along to other fans. These games are going on. Big swing this time. Nice dig by Rojas. That was Littleton's best hit of the game. Ball back over on the Stacey side. This time off the net. They'll play it up for Littleton. Across on the San Perlita side. They'll go for the quick set on the left side. Spiked off the block. Played back up near the net, and a challenge there, and it's out of bounds. Point scored, San Antonio Stacey. Good job by the Lady Eagles of keeping that ball in play and eventually securing the point. Lady Eagles will serve again. That's Hassett. Played by Rojas up near the net. Point scored, San Antonio Stacey on a mini roll. Now down 7. As Emily Hassett, the freshman, will serve again. Ready to go, puts it across though in the net. Point scored, Lady Trojans on a service error. And Modesta Garcia will stroll back to serve. Another senior on this team. San Perlita with seniors. Garcia, Rojas, Maya Duarte, Presida Maldonado, Megan Kinney, all seniors on the squad. It's a team loaded with players that have experience playing out their final year at the high school level. Ball at the net, tipped across, that's off a block. San Perlita will continue to play it. San Antonio Stacey now goes on the attack. Back set for Littleton, spikes it across on the angle. Garcia there to dig it. Hit across by Aaliyah Garcia. Ball back on the San Perlita side, carries out of bounds. Point for the Lady Trojans, they're up 9. 9-point lead, San Antonio Stacey takes a timeout. We'll be right back.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Needing a treat before or after the big game? Then when in Harlingen, stop in at
Back here on Rio Sports as we are back for the broadcast. San Perlita Lady Trojans up 18-9 against San Antonio Stacey. Ball across, that's in the net though. San Antonio Stacey will score the point. Makes it 18-10. Littleton back to the service line, and Cameron Thompson checks back in. We'll see if Thompson is able to produce this time around across the net. I'm telling you, during warm-up, she can absolutely bring it as a hitter. Rojas pumps that across on the Stacey side. They'll set it up this time in the middle. Big spike across, down in the corner. A kill for Miranda Morales. Morales that time as a middle hitter able to put that one down. 7-point game as Jasleen Littleton will serve again. In the net it goes. Service errors have racked up here for San Antonio Stacey in game one. Megan Kinney now rotates back to serve for the Lady Trojans. She'll get it across with some pace. Good dig that time by Littleton. They'll set up Thompson on the right side, and she spikes it down. And that's a point for San Antonio Stacey. 19-12 game again. Cameron Thompson, if they can feed her, keep balls in play, she can be a difference maker when she's on that front row. Morales ready to serve it up for the Lady Eagles. Short serve. Rojas with a pass. Ball still off the net. They'll set up Rojas. Tips it over the blockers. Nice coverage that time by Dolder, who's able to dig it. Thompson hits that one in the net. Point Lady Trojans are up 20-12. San Perlita has led since the start of this one. Back to serve right now, Jasmine Rodriguez, the sophomore. Gets it across, played by San Antonio Stacey. They'll set it up for Dolder off the net. Gets it across, diving play back there by Perla Moreno. Keeps it alive. Rojas puts it over. Played by San Antonio Stacey. A high set middle. Thompson spikes it for the angle, hits it out of bounds. Lady Trojans up 9 at 21-12. Good dig again by Perla Moreno during that rally for the Lady Trojans to keep that ball in play. Good pass this time for the Stacey Lady Eagles. Tipped across by Dolder, punched up by Kinney. High set across the way for Garcia. Off the block, point scored, Aaliyah Garcia. San Perlita now up double digits at 22-12. Jasmine Rodriguez back to serve again. Puts S in play with some pace. Good dig by Littleton. High set for Thompson in the middle. Spikes it, back row, out of bounds, missed by about a foot. That's exactly what we saw last night when teams were going just a little too strong, a little bit too much adrenaline in the first game of that playoff game. That ended up being a 5-game thriller. Big spike by Rojas, put that down and away. Lady Trojans up 24-12. Karime Rojas, well timed on the approach, and she has steadily upped her game as we've got into the playoffs. Want to give a congratulations, shout out to the San Isidro team as they got a victory last night. That ball goes across the net. Lady Trojans secure game one. 25-12, San Perlita takes game one. San Antonio Stacey will try to regroup. Game two coming up from Corpus Christi's Veteran Memorial. This is Rio Sports Live.
Ice creams, shakes, sundaes, banana splits, and that's just a sample. If you can dream it, they can make it at The Scoop in Harlingen. From the deli comes a variety of sandwiches that is sure to bring you back for more. Hamburgers and hot dogs served every day. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 7, Sundays from 12 to 6. On F Street in Harlingen, it's the Scoop Ice Cream Parlor and Deli.
Hi, we're the Lady Tigers, and thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
Hi fans, today's game is brought to you by New York Life. Best of luck to your team.
And I'm Danielle Goslin, and I'm a partner with New York Life Insurance Company. For over 170 years, New York Life has built a reputation of developing the most successful professionals in the industry.
We help to manage the process from day one and guide you on your way to success. If you're looking to challenge yourself and build an insurance and financial service business,
then we would like to show you how we can help.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Back here on Rio Sports Live as we get set for game 2 of this best of 5 between the San Perlita Lady Trojans and the San Antonio Stacey Lady Eagles. Appreciation to all the fans that are joining us for our broadcast. So I want to give a shout out as we are getting assistance in funding these games, which is the most important part of this whole deal. Ball across, played back. That's a live ball still on this rally. A high set across to Littleton, gets it across on the angle. Long rally to start game 2. Spiked by Rojas. A good dig that time on the back row by Symphony Nieves. Ball back over on the San Perlita side. Kinney with the pass. They'll set it up again. Megan Kinney off the back row. In the net it goes, and Stacey secures game 2's first point. Now they'll check in Cameron Thompson as Jaslyn Littleton checks back to serve. Littleton puts it into the net. Service there, ties it at 1 apiece. 1-1 game, back to serve is Jasmine Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets it across, back row there to dig that by Littleton. Pass across to Thompson, one hands it over. Played by the Lady Trojans, they'll set it to Kinney. Looking for the back corner. Played back there by Morales. Ball back over to Thompson. Spikes it across. Good dig again by Jasmine Rodriguez. This is Aaliyah Garcia. Right back at you. Points scored, Lady Trojans. Aaliyah Garcia able to put that away. Another serve coming by Jasmine Rodriguez. San Perlita took control of game 1 and 1 going away. This is a ace served up. Makes it a 3-1 game. Littleton got a hand on that, but the momentum and the topspin carried that towards the back wall. Lady Trojans up 3-1 as Rodriguez serves again. Just across, Littleton a good dig. Ball at the net, ball over on the San Perlita side. Rojas sets it up to Garcia, tips it over the double block, got the point. Thompson and Morales were there for the double block. Back row just a step behind, covering that double block. Rodriguez serves again. Ball back on the San Perlita side as it rolls over the net, but it carries out of bounds. Lady Trojans up 5-1. Here in game 2, Jasmine Rodriguez will serve again. San Ysidro Lady Tigers were victorious last night. They've already advanced to round 3. Trojans out of the same district trying to get there as well. A 5-2 game. Serve across coming up by San Antonio Stacey. That's a cross. Ball back at the net, punched across by the Lady Eagles. Lady Trojans get it across. It carries out of bounds. Lady Eagles are able to score the point. A 5-3 game. Next serve across. Karime Rojas with a pass. Set by Alyssa Nieto, and a big spike is covered by the Lady Eagles of San Antonio Stacey. Garcia again reaches back, puts that one down. It was a good dig by the Lady Eagles. But San Perlita continued to be the aggressor here. Out of the gate, they're up 6-3 as Aaliyah Garcia rotates back to serve. Garcia puts it into play. Pass by Littleton. Set it up for Thompson. You too close to the net. Point scored, Lady Trojans. See Thompson trying to get her footsteps right to go for that kill. Lady Trojans serve again, Aaliyah Garcia. Littleton on the return of serve. Ball back over on the Trojan side. Kinney with a pass. Nieto the set. Rojas the kill. And down in the back corner, another big kill, Karime Rojas. Lady Trojans up 8-3. They have brought a new level to their game from what we've seen here in the second round of the playoffs. Back after this.
Men, start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Back here, San Perlita will serve it up. A deep serve to the back row, carries out of bounds. Nice timeout that time by head coach Mike Flores, trying to settle his Lady Eagle team down. And they'll be serving again here. Down 8-4, short serve, that's a near ace. Played by the Lady Trojans, Modesta Garcia tips it over. Played by the Lady Eagles, set up Thompson. Good set, right side. A little too short on that hit as she backed off. Didn't clear the net, 9-4 lead. Karime Rojas back to serve for San Perlita's Lady Trojans. In the net it goes, a service error, another point for the Lady Eagles of San Antonio Stacey. Thompson now rotates back to serve for San Antonio Stacey. Cameron Thompson ready to go. Just into the net. Lady Trojans right back up 5 after the service error. 10-5 ball game. Alyssa Nieto back to serve. Nieto ready to go, puts it into play. Good pass this time, a high set, looking for Littleton. Spikes it down and in. Big kill for Jaslyn Littleton for San Antonio Stacey. (10-6) ball game. Megan Kinney took a hard shot on that play for San Perlita. She'll check out of the game for just a moment or two. And meanwhile, back to serve is Julissa De Luna for San Antonio Stacey. De Luna will serve it across. Rojas there to play that. Ball up near the net. Rodriguez tips it on the back row. Played by the Lady Eagles. Set it up. Here's Littleton again. This one's in the net. Point scored. Lady Trojans. 11-6. And Megan Kinney is one of the integral parts of this team. Seated over there on the San Perlita Lady Trojan bench. Right next to Coach. Defensively, they need her. There's a rotation there by San Perlita. Lady Trojans are going to lobby their cause, saying they were in the right spot. That was a quick whistle that was blown. Now they'll bring in Megan Kinney back into the ball game. Well, check that. They have to replace her. They only had 5 players on the court. And so the substitution checks in as Araceli Nieto enters the ball game. That was the call. They only had 5 players on the court. Now they're going to check at the scorer's table. That official over there talking things over. And they will award a point to San Antonio Stacey. Meanwhile, a timeout on the floor. San Antonio Stacey trails by 4. San Perlita won game 1. Game 2 continues after this.
Inmates, you are now property of Cell Block X.
Our professional advisors at Employee Retirement Service have been providing financial and retirement planning for many years for employees of different employment.
If you've spent your career in education and are ready for the next chapter, let the professionals at Employment Retirement Services help. You've worked hard, and now it's time to relax and enjoy.
Back here, Lady Eagles first team to make their way back on the floor, San Antonio Stacey. Out of District 29 2A, if you're just joining us, a little high school volleyball here on a Friday night. Rudy and I made the trip up to Corpus Christi. And the Lady Eagles will serve. Down 4, a serve across by Hassett. Played across, back on the Stacey side. A high set on the left side, spiked over. Modesta Garcia gets a hand on that. Ball back over on a free ball for San Antonio Stacey. Pass in the direction of Hassett, a back set. This is Littleton off the net. Hits it across, angles it out of bounds. 12-7 ball game. Back to serve is Araceli Nieto. Nieto to serve it up for the Lady Trojans of San Perlita. Gets it across, played by San Antonio Stacey. Big spike across, played by the Lady Trojans. They'll get it back over on the Stacey side. Back there is Haley Barentine. That ball is going to be a lift and a point scored for San Perlita. Lady Trojans up 6 at 13-7. Araceli Nieto will serve again. Played by the Lady Eagles. Right on the money with a pass. Second hit over this time. Lady Trojans on the attack. Tipped across by Rodriguez to the back row. Barentine there to play that. Still on the back row. Littleton gets it over on the San Perlita side. Lady Trojans set it up. Karime Rojas swings off the block. Point scored, Lady Trojans. You see that ball went right into the hands of Miranda Morales. Had she moved her hands, that was coming straight towards her face. She had to keep her hands on the ball. 7-point game. Lady Trojans get it over on the San Antonio Stacey side. Littleton becomes the setter. Sets it up for Morales, hits it across. One-handed back over, but out of bounds off the hit by Araceli Nieto. 14-8 game. Jaslyn Littleton to serve again for the Lady Eagles. Gets that across, diving play, nothing doing. That's an ace for San Antonio Stacey. Lady Eagles within 5 as Littleton serves again. As she serves, that means Cameron Thompson checks back in the game on the front row. Short serve, returned by the Lady Trojans. And a point scored for San Perlita. 15-9 game. Lady Trojans won the first game by 13. Jasmine Rodriguez will serve, her team up 6. Gets it across. Played by San Antonio Stacey at the net. Thompson spikes it over. Ball back across. Played by San Antonio Stacey with a high set for Thompson. That's out of bounds on the back row. Point Lady Trojans. Back to serve is Jasmine Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets it over. Punched up in the air by Littleton. They'll set her. Littleton spikes it over. That's a kill for San Antonio Stacey's Jaslyn Littleton. Substitution off the bench for San Perlita as Julissa De Luna will check in. Now serve it across. Played by San Perlita. Ball back over on the San Antonio Stacey side at the net. Challenge there. Karime Rojas there to put it away. Rojas, that's just too good a look on the middle. Here comes Modesta Garcia back in the game for San Perlita, replacing Perla Moreno. Meanwhile, Aaliyah Garcia back to serve for the Lady Trojans. San Antonio Stacey talking things over defensively, what they're going to approach here. Also trying to make sure their rotation is correct. at the net. Everything checks out. We're ready to go. Aaliyah Garcia will serve. Gets that across with some pace. Played by Littleton. They'll try to set up Thompson. Gets an approach, gets it across. Covered that time by the Lady Trojans. Ball back over on the Stacey side. Lady Eagles trying to set it up again for Thompson, this time off the net. Back row there to play that for San Perlita. Over by Rojas. Back set this time for Littleton. Played again by the Lady Trojans. Thompson punches it over. Rojas gets it back over on the Lady Eagles side. Thompson again, spikes it. Dug by Garcia, kept alive by a diving play by Rojas. This rally continues. Here's another chance for Thompson in the net. Lady Trojans score the point. You could pick any one of 4 players that time, keeping that ball alive on the rally. Instrumental in preserving that point. Leah Garcia serves it over, played by Littleton. They'll set it up. Here's Littleton on the back row. In the net it goes. Point, Lady Trojans. San Perlita up 19-10. Timeout called by San Antonio Stacey. Volleyball coverage continues from Corpus Christi. Back after this.
The difference with us.
And let's plan your retirement together. Call us at 956-440-8774 to schedule your appointment today.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. A district dedicated to preparing our youth for the future. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and empower all students to reach their full potential and become leaders of the highest moral character. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
Hi, we're Mission Veterans, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
San Antonio Stacey Lady Eagles called another timeout. Excuse me, trying to stop this surge by the Lady Trojans. Right back to work though. Aaliyah Garcia serves up another ace. Double-digit lead for San Perlita as Aaliyah Garcia will serve again. Gets that across. Played by San Antonio Stacey. Thompson at the net. Gets it over. Rojas there for San Perlita. They'll set up Karime, but that's going to be a lift call. And a point to San Antonio Stacey and the Lady Eagles. Ariana Flores back to serve now for San Antonio Stacey. Good serve. Modesta Garcia gets a hand on that, still on the back row. Rojas gets it over on the Stacey side. Thompson with the pass. They'll quickly set her back in the middle. Tipped it over the blockers. Rojas there to cover that. They'll set up Karime Rojas. Off the block. Point scored. Lady Trojans. Rojas will rotate back to serve. I'm going to send a shout out to Mark Hassett watching this game from overseas. Thank you for serving in the Air Force and watching our game. Serve across. Played by San Antonio Stacey, but right there's Modesta Garcia, puts it down for San Perlita. Lady Trojans, all momentum on their side right now. We saw this last night. Again, I don't want to beat this point to death, but we saw Jubilee out of Brownsville drop 2 games decisively and then storm back to win the next 3. This crazy sport of volleyball with its momentum, once you seize it, sometimes it's hard for the other team to get it back. Thompson spikes it across. Rojas there with a good dig. Right now defensively, San Perlita is handling anything coming across and then immediately going on the attack with that big kill there. Lady Trojans will check in, or check that. Lady Eagles will check in Miranda Morales into the game on the back row. Meanwhile, Karime Rojas will serve for San Perlita. Line drive serve. Nice pass, ball up at the net. Thompson one-hands it over. Played by Nieto. Ball back by Garcia, gets it over. Diving play keeps it alive. Rally continues. San Perlita, second hit over. Lady Eagles trying to set up Thompson in the middle. Just gets it over the blocker. Leah Garcia there to cover that. Tipped across by Araceli Nieto. A high set again for Thompson. Gets in the air this time, puts it over. Rojas there to dig that. Long rally continues. San Antonio Stacey setting up back row. Littleton. Rojas there again as the Lady Trojan defense is able to handle it, but then a miscommunication there leads to a point for the Lady Eagles. That was a good job of sticking to it for San Antonio Stacey. On sticking with that rally. Served by the Lady Trojans, over across the net. Ball over on the Stacey side. Ball back by the Lady Eagles on the right side. This time hit across by Charlotte Gloria, and that's a point scored. Charlotte Gloria, senior for the Lady Eagles of San Antonio Stacey. Back to serve is Cameron Thompson. Gets it over. Garcia with a pass. Nieto the set. Aaliyah Garcia puts it over. Covered that time by Lene Dolder. Ball back over on the San Perlita side. Right back to Stacey on one hit. Set up Littleton. Gets the approach. Gets the hit. Off the block. Point scored. Lady Eagles. Jaslyn Littleton that time. Took it off the block. 9-point game, though. San Perlita built that big lead here in game 2. A lot of cushion to work with. Thompson gets it over. Pass by the Lady Trojans. Garcia puts it over. Lady Eagles setting it up. Littleton again swings away. Back there to play that is Rojas. Ball up near the net. Nothing doing. Point scored, San Antonio Stacey. Right now they found a little something with Jaslyn Littleton on that outside left of the net. Substitution is back in the game for the Lady Trojans is Megan Kinney. One of the better defenders on this team. Checks back in the game. Serve across by Thompson. Garcia with a pass. Nieto sets it up. Modesta Garcia puts it over. Littleton with a pass. A set by Ariana Flores. Littleton again off the block this time. Ball still alive. Lady Eagles set it on the back row to Thompson. Rojas there to dig that for San Perlita. Garcia comes off the back row. Kept alive by Littleton. Modesta Garcia puts it down. Point scored, Lady Trojans. That time, San Perlita wins the long rally. 9-point lead. Alyssa Nieto now serving to capture game 2. Gets it across. That's an ace. Game over. San Perlita. A double-digit win in game 2. We'll get to game 3 right after this.
Thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
At San Benito Vision Source, the optometry staff works around your busy schedule and take the time to answer your questions and concerns prior to a visit. Dr. Jaime Rodriguez and Dr. Laura Loki offering full vision examinations, diagnostics, and treatment of an array of eye diseases and conditions to keep your eyes healthy. Call the friendly staff today with questions or schedule a consultation. San Benito Vision Source.
Hi, we're the Lady Diamondbacks, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Everyone's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2 in Harlingen. Choose from a wide selection and score big today on West Expressway 83.
Right now, how about this 2017 Alfa Romeo Giulia, loaded up with power everything, a rear camera, dual climate, and today it's yours, $1,000 down and just $450 a month. Or how about this, a 2014 Ford Mustang at 48,000 miles, leather seats, a shaker sound system, aftermarket exhaust, steering wheel controls, and a 5.0-liter engine. $23,999 today.
Financing is available with lending for all types. Every deal's a winner at Kano Auto Sales 2, in business since 2002, Harlingen, Texas. Back here on Real Sports Live as we are coming to you live from Corpus Christi. Send a shout out in the direction of my wife, Dahlia, back at home watching the game. Her work hours don't allow her to make these games anymore as we have to be here a little early to set up. Road trips are a little different Send a shout in her direction. At least she's home with Princess and warm. Lady Trojans of San Perlita up in this one. 2-0 as we get set for game 3. Littleton serves it up and away we go. Good dig by Garcia. Here's Kinney tipping that over the block. Good dig by Flores. They'll set it up to Thompson. Punches it over. Kept alive by San Perlita. Set again for Kinney. Reaches back. Spikes it up. Nice play by Littleton. Ball back on the Stacey side. Now San Perlita will watch. Rojas the pass. Nieto the set. Modesta Garcia off the line. Or check that. That's Aaliyah Garcia. Scores the point. Lady Trojans up 1. They led throughout game 1. Took control of game 2 early. And lead 2-0 in this best of 5. Littleton to serve. That's an ace served up. We're tied at 1 apiece. Check that 2-0. San Antonio Stacey, they awarded that first point to the Lady Eagles. 2-0 game as Jaslyn Littleton will serve again. Deep serve this time. Back there is Moreno. Rojas to help it out. Garcia gets it over. A pass this time by Morales. A high set for Thompson. Reaches back. Nice dig by Moreno. Challenge at the net. Ball still alive on the Stacey side. Back on the San Perlita side. Lady Trojans trying to set it up. Rojas gets it over. Thompson hits it in the air. Gets a set. Reaches back. Off the block. Got the point for San Antonio Stacey. Kill that time from Cameron Thompson. Lady Eagles out of the gate up 3-0 here in game 3 as Jaslyn Littleton tries to carry the momentum through from the service line. Another good serve. That's an ace. It's a 4-0 game, San Antonio Stacey. Jaslyn Littleton. I told you this momentum of this sport. You can snap your fingers and never get it back. Good serve again. And another ace served up by Littleton. It's a 5-0 game. Lady Trojans won the first 2 games going away. Right now trailing by 5 as Littleton's serve goes in the net. San Perlita's Megan Kinney will rotate back to serve. First serve for San Perlita here in game 3. Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial High School Gym. Ball over by Rojas. Littleton there to dig that. A setup for Thompson. Reaches back. Kinney's back there to play it. Ball right back over on the Stacey side. Eagles scramble. We'll get it across. Free ball here. Kinney with the pass. Garcia the set. Rojas the hit. And a kill for the Lady Trojans. Starts with the pass. Set on the money, and Karime Rojas puts it away. Megan Kinney will serve again. Kinney, a right-handed server for San Perlita. Back row there to play that. That's Symphony Nieves. Ball back on the San Perlita side. Megan Kinney keeps it alive. Free ball coming up for the Lady Eagles. Pass in the direction of Hassett. Hassett with a set. 2 hits called. And a point to San Perlita. Missed opportunity that time for the Lady Eagles. You could see that Cameron Thompson was getting her footwork together for an approach on what could have been a big hit. Serve across by Kinney, played by the Lady Eagles. Tough ball right there at the net. Ball back on the Eagles side. Set up Thompson. Down the line. Got the point. San Antonio Stacey. 6-3 game. Miranda Morales back to serve. Modesta Garcia checks in on the back row for San Perlita. Garcia back there with Maldonado and Megan Kinney. On the return of serve. Challenge at the net. Aaliyah Garcia wins the challenge for the Lady Trojans of San Perlita. Makes it a 6-4 game. Back to serve is Jasmine Rodriguez. Reminding you, we got more volleyball action tomorrow at noon. Coming from Harlingen, Texas. Harlingen South hosting McAllen. Kinney with a pass. Nieto races over, sets up Garcia. Aaliyah puts it over. Thompson with a pass. Littleton from the back row puts it away for San Antonio Stacey. Littleton, who has been a big part here of the success in game 3. Across the front row, serving, and now off that back row, kill attempt. This one carries in the net. Lady Trojans score, cut the lead to 2 at 7-5. Back to serve is Aaliyah Garcia. Another sophomore on this team. San Perlita loaded with seniors, but they do have some sophomores that do help out. There's a big kill down again for San Antonio Stacey. And they control the lead here in game 3, now up 8-5. Cameron Thompson back at the service line. Thompson for the Lady Eagles. In the net it goes. Lady Trojans on a service there, right back to within 2. Thompson will check out. Entering the game for San Antonio Stacey is Marisa Arteaga. Served by Karime Rojas for San Perlita. Pass up near the net, and a point scored. Lady Trojans on an ace by Karime Rojas. 8-7 game as Rojas is ready to serve again. Will get it across with some pace. Good dig that time by the Lady Eagles. Set up Littleton, reaches back, puts it down, point scored. Littleton again on a kill. And she alone has stepped up here in game 3. Trying to spark this San Antonio Stacey team down 2-0 in a best of 5. Symphony Nieves, the junior, checks in to serve. Nieves, a right-handed server, is ready. That's a cross. Garcia with a pass, challenge at the net, and a kill by Miranda Morales. Point Lady Eagles, they're up 3 at 10-7. Nieves back to serve again. Line drive serve, played by Karime Rojas for San Perlita. Back row attempt, this is Garcia, Aaliyah Garcia. Set for Littleton. Off the block again. Kinney there to keep the ball alive. Ball back on the San Antonio Stacey side. Again, they'll have a chance. They'll set it up this time middle. Spiked over. Played by Rojas. Garcia from the back row. And ball back on the San Perlita side. Rojas the pass. Set it up on the back row. Garcia puts it over. Lady Eagles miss hit on the pass. Point scored, Lady Trojans. Anticlimactic to that rally. All the big hitting going on, just a miss hit on a pass. 10-8 ball game, back to serve for San Perlita is Alicia Nieto. Gets it across. Ball played by San Antonio Stacey. They'll set it up middle this time for Littleton. Ball punched up over the net, right back over near the net, and it goes. Point scored, Lady Trojans. Modesta Garcia kind of redirected that ball as it came across the net on a return by Aaliyah Garcia. Now serving Nieto, trying to tie it up. Good pass, a high set. Morales tips it over the blockers. Kinney there, they'll set up Megan Kinney. 2 hands it over, Littleton the pass up near the net and punched back across by Morales. Heads up play there to keep this one alive. Set up here is Jasmine Rodriguez. Tips it over, scored the point. Lady Trojans tie the game. 10 apiece here in game 3. Nieto back to serve again. Deeper serve this time, and that's an ace served up. Lady Trojans go back up 11-10. First lead in game 3 for San Perlita. Nieto ready to serve again. Right down the line, ball up at the net. A high set for Morales, spikes it across. Good dig by Aaliyah Garcia. They'll set it for Nieto, punches it over. Lady Eagles on the attack, trying to set up Littleton. Good approach, reaches back, puts it down, ties the game at 11 apiece. Jaslyn Littleton with the kill. 11-11 ball game as that one carried off the back wall behind the bleachers. They had to dig that out. Emily Hassett back to serve for San Antonio Stacey. Hassett, a right-handed server, gets it across with some pace. Diving play by Kinney keeps this one in play. Hassett, the set. The hit across by Ariana Flores. Megan Kinney there to play it again. A high set for Rodriguez. Tips it across on the angle. That carries in. Point scored, Trojans. Back line judge called that in. Now they call it out. Point score for the Lady Eagles. Now they're going to change it around. Thought the net judge had called that a point send Perlita. Back line judge had called that out. I guess they went to the third referee to break the tie. Back set this time. San Antonio Stacey returns it over. Lady Trojans set it up for Aaliyah Garcia. Punches it over. Hassett sets it on a back set for Littleton on the approach. Ball back on the San Antonio Stacey side. They'll back set it again. No, this time middle for Morales. Hit across. Modesta Garcia there. Rojas helps out. Aaliyah Garcia puts it over. Hassett, a back set again for Littleton. Spiked over. Megan Kinney there to keep this one alive. Another long rally here in this ball game between San Antonio Stacey and San Perlita. Back set again. Middleton punches it over this time. Played by Jasmine Rodriguez of San Perlita. Aaliyah Garcia reaches back. Dug out that time on the back row by Arteaga. Ball back across. Kinney tries to keep it alive. That's a lift. Point scored. Lady Eagles tie it at 12 apiece. Thompson rotates in to the front row. Jaslyn Littleton rotates back to serve. It was her serving that edged San Antonio Stacey out to a lead to start this game 3. That pass may have been going out of bounds. Lady Eagles play it. Challenge at the net. Won by San Perlita as Alyssa Nieto scores the point. 13-12 ball game. Megan Kinney back to serve. Kinney gets it across. Thompson there with a pass. Hassett with the set. Punched over, but it carries out of bounds. Lady Trojans up 2 here in game 3. Megan Kinney to serve again. Kinney gets it across, a deep serve. That's an ace. Lady Trojans up 3 at 15-12. Here, if you're San Antonio Stacey, you gotta keep them within range. Can't afford to drop this one. This is the decider. Timeout call. Back after this.
Cafe. Great food made to order. Handmade tortillas daily. Breakfast, lunch, and Friday stop in for supper. The La Feria Cafe, open 7 days a week off of Business 83 in La Feria, Texas.
Coach Nava with Westaco East High School. Thank you for watching Rio Sports Live.
At HCISD, we move the needle forward every day.
We'll blaze a trail for future generations.
It's not just about equipping students with skills for the future. We awaken their potential and empower them to make good choices.
No matter where you're from or where you're headed, there's a place for you to flourish at HCISD.
Lady Eagles took that timeout, and it produces a point as Cameron Thompson's able to carry one down the line on a hit. 15-13 they trail as Miranda Morales is back to serve. Morales gets it across. Rojas races over to play it. Modesta Garcia puts it over. Morales the pass. A high set middle. Thompson reaches back. Block back at you. Point scored, San Perlita. Aaliyah Garcia that time with a block on a kill attempt by Cameron Thompson. Serve across, just off the net. That's an ace. Lady Trojans up 17-13. Another serve coming up for Jasmine Rodriguez. Played on the back row by Haley Barentine. They'll set up Littleton on the back row attempt. Megan Kinney right there to dig that. Carries it out of bounds, though. Good dig by Kinney, but it had too much pace on it, taking it over the net and off the side. Ariana Flores back to serve, a junior for San Antonio Stacey. Puts that over. That's an ace. 2-point game. Lady Eagles, again, there's no room for error here for San Antonio Stacey. Spiked across by Littleton. Ball carries out of bounds. (19-16) game. And another point scored. Lady Trojans win the race to 20. 20-16 ball game. Spike across. High set, spiked over in the back row. That carries out of bounds. Point send Perlita. Now the Lady Trojans 5 away from a sweep here. Back to serve is Karime Rojas. That's in the net. Point scored San Antonio Stacey. It's not complete panic time, but if you're the Lady Eagles, this is right at the spot where you need to secure this. Can't afford to trade points as you get too close to that 24 mark. Once you get there, you have to play perfect volleyball. Serve across by Nieves. That's an ace. Lady Eagles to within 3 at 21-18. Symphony Nieves to serve again. Down by 3, 21-18 here in game 3. Before the serve, a whistle blows. And they'll award a point to San Perlita, saying Nieves took too long to serve. Now they blow the whistle and put it back on the San Antonio Stacey side. They award a point to Stacey, 22-19 score. Served now by Emily Hassett. Garcia with this set. Put over by Kinney on the second hit. Set off the net. This is Flores. In the net it goes. Lady Trojans score. 23-19, San Perlita. Modesta Garcia back at the line. Garcia will put it into play. Deep serve. Played on the back row. Ball up near the net. Over on the San Perlita side. Lady Trojans set up Megan Kinney right side. Spikes it across. Good dig that time by Hassett. This time Littleton puts it up just over the net. Played by Nieto. A high back set for Rojas. One hands up in the back row. Played by the Lady Eagles. Set up Littleton. Two hands it again. Diving play by Rojas. Littleton with a high pass. Hassett, the second hit over. Kinney there to play that for San Perlita. High set. This is Aaliyah Garcia. Punches it over. And points scored, Lady Trojans. 24-19. This is where I was saying. Your opponent gets to that 24 mark, you got to start playing letter perfect for the next 5 points for San Antonio Stacey. Back to serve is Modesta Garcia for the Lady Trojans. Her serve across. Pass forward. Morales tips it over. Nieto with a pass. Back there is Rodriguez. Ball back over on the Stacey side. Hassett with a back set for Littleton. Reaches back, spikes it away. Point scored, San Antonio Stacey. Jaslyn Littleton, another kill. Back to serve as Littleton. It was her serving to start this game. Put her team in contention. This one goes in the net, and San Perlita wins it 25-20, completes a 3-game sweep, and move on to round 3 of the playoffs in high school volleyball. Lady Trojans back-to-back sweeps in rounds 1 and 2 of the playoffs. Victorious here over San Antonio Stacey, 25-20 your final score. Rudy and I will decide on our Hacienda Ford Player of the Game. Our She Has It award will be awarded. Be watching our social media for that. That's going to do it for our broadcast. We got a long trip ahead of us and more coverage tomorrow. Tune in as well, fans. We've got high school football coming up here in about 20 minutes from various locations throughout the RGV. Reminding you, we've got high school volleyball tomorrow at noon. McAllen on the road at Harlingen South. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Reminding you, you can help us by getting our numbers up. Pass the word around to other fans. We have games going on. Until next time, from Corpus Christi, Texas, for Rudy Zamaripa, I'm Joe Bowling for Rio Sports Live. Good night.